Welcome back to another episode of Journey with Journey. Y'all, I know the ones that love my all fancy intro is like, what happened to our intro and all this other kind of stuff, but I'm a mother and I'm tired. And so for me to be able to be consistent in making this content, I need to just give y'all the real, the raw without all of that editing right now. The fancy stuff will come later, but right now we finna get straight into what needs to be talked about. Okay, I do got notes, so y'all bear with me because um yeah, I be getting off subject and all this other kind of stuff. So I got my notes to keep me on track. So I know right now there's like this big trend going on and it's called like 17 diapers and it's on TikTok. And so I'm not I am mostly seeing this video and this trend going on with predominantly white people. And I know this is sad to say, but it's also real. And it's not just my reality, but it's real that a lot of black people are not talking about postpartum depression and how it actually does affect you and how you're not just milking having a baby and all these other kind of things. So I'm going to get on here today, be very transparent and very vulnerable. Excuse my nail. But like I said, I'm a mother. But I'm going to be very transparent and vulnerable with y'all today and talk about my experience. Nobody else's experience. I'm not belittling nobody else's experience, but I'm going to tell y'all what happened to me, what happened, and then also like how I got past it to who I am today. All right? To loving my girls, basically, my kids. I got two. So first off, if you know me, if you don't know me, now you know I have two girls. I have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. She just turned 3 in September. So a 3-year-old. And so when I first had my daughter, I breastfed, y'all. And I don't know what you know about breastfeeding if you did breastfeed, but let me tell you right now, it is like the 5th trimester. Yes, I skipped 4th. It's like the 5th trimester. Because like that 3rd trimester, you big and you hurting and everything, until you have your child. And then that 4th trimester, it's like everything in the meantime in between time of like the hormones and if you have hemorrhoids, if you need to be sewed up, if you have a C-section, healing, all of that kind of things. I consider that the 4th trimester. Then the 5th trimester is what I consider to be breastfeeding. Yeah, that's the 5th trimester. If no one told you, now you know. When I breastfed, y'all, they don't prepare you for how you start to feel. I started feeling like I still didn't have my own body back and my own identity back. Like, okay, I didn't already been sat down like for 9 months. I'm not saying I wasn't able to enjoy myself, but you get what I'm saying. Like you're pregnant, so you're limited on the things that you can do and everything. So I was already more so limited within those first 9 months. And then afterwards, like I said, back to the 5th trimester, when you start breastfeeding, you still don't get your body back. Like it's even harder if you breastfeed and it's truly a sacrifice. I don't regret it at all, but I'm just gonna tell y'all what no one told me that it's like that child still is latched onto you. And the other thing that people don't prepare you for is like overnight you go from just worrying about you, just concerned about you, to having a whole another person to be concerned about, like by a snap of a finger. And we're living in a society where people are taking it as though you're just supposed to know what to do as a mom and instantly snap and get into, your mother's instinct. That ain't real. That ain't real, especially if you don't have your mom there. Like, that's not real. There is no mother's instinct. You learn it as you go. That's what the mother instinct is. That's why somebody with one child seems like they're all over the place compared to somebody with 2 and 3. That's why. Because they have learned as they went on. But anyway, so yeah, I was just feeling very overwhelmed. I felt like no one understood. I didn't really have much of support. My family lived in New Orleans and my husband's family lived in Alabama. And so we were just out in Texas doing our own thing. And it was just a lot. He didn't understand because he's a man. And this is another reason why later in the video I'm going to talk about this. But community, how important community is, because honey, like I didn't have a soul. I didn't have nobody to like confide in or somebody to come and pull up on me and check on me or say, girl, give me this baby, go take a shower. My husband was working. I went through it. It was hard. It was definitely hard. Not belittling no one else's experience, but I'm telling you what mine was. So yeah, so that was really hard. And it felt like a piece of me was gone. Like and I started to basically resent my child. I started to feel like I would still be myself. I would still feel like that piece of me that's gone would still be here if it wasn't for you. You as in the baby. Yeah. That's very honest, very real, very raw, but it's true. And other women could say that they don't go through it. I'm not saying that every single woman does, but I'm telling you, there are a lot of women that do, and they're quiet about it, and they suffer in silence. So yeah, my husband didn't understand it or anything, and so, um, mm, so yeah. On top of that, you was dealing with all the other like physical things that come with it. You know, like the cracked nipples and hemorrhoids and just stitches and all that kind of stuff. So it was hard, but we made it. We made it on the bright side. We made it. So I bet you're wondering like, okay, so how did you get out of it? Like, how did you make it out of it or whatever? I changed my perception. I did three things, but more so was I changed my perception. Instead of looking at it as though like my daughter took a piece of me away, and I would still be my old self if it wasn't for her coming and all of this, then I changed it to view like she took a piece of me that I didn't need anymore. A piece of me that I did not need anymore. And so that piece that was gone that I didn't need anymore blossomed into something better. So let's get into how I discovered that and all of that. Three things: a choice, habit stacking. I'm gonna let y'all know about that. I read a book, but habit stacking, and another book, Beginner's Guide to Gratitude. So a choice, the choice that I made was every single day I was going to wake up and decide to be happy. Every day I was going to decide like I am not gonna just sit around and be sad. I came to the realization that no one was coming to save me. I had to do it on my own. No one was coming to get me out of that rut. No one was coming to get me out of that sadness. And I had a baby right here, 2 kids, depending on me. And yeah, my husband too, but that we're talking about the baby right now. So yeah, so I had to make literally a decision to change and get out of it. I made a decision to figure out things that helped you get out of that rut after having kids, and one of them was working out, and that gets us into habit stacking. Every day I started building the habits of getting dressed every day. So boo, I know you tired, I know you exhausted, I know the baby been waking up in the middle of the night constantly. If you're breastfeeding, probably every 2 hours like mine was. But you gotta get up and get dressed. Get up, get dressed, get out that big t-shirt, get out them sweatpants, get up and get dressed. And I'm not saying that you got to get out the house, because I know that's a whole nother step that comes with time, but you need to get dressed. Something about changing your clothes actually does something internally. Put on some earrings, spray some perfume on yourself, get out that milk stained t-shirt. Okay? So that was building habits, making my bed every day, building habits that was basically preparing me to be great. So you got to decide what those habits look like. And if you want more information and more advice on habit stacking and books and recommendations, just let me know in the comments below. So habit stacking. And then my final thing that helped me the most. Let me make sure I went over everything, y'all. Oh, I skipped a piece. So something else that really helped me too is once you do get into your habits and stuff like that, start doing stuff away from the baby. Give your baby to, if you got a husband, give him to the husband. If you got a friend, call that friend. Do not be afraid to call that friend. Do not suffer in silence. And go take a shower alone. Go to the grocery store alone, even if it's to get something for the baby. Start doing stuff apart from that baby. Because if not, you're gonna stay in that rut. And I know we're gonna have the monster moms in the comments saying, oh no, my baby's my world. That child is gonna get older and build their own relationships and their own friendships, and you are gonna suffer. My daughter is 7 years old, my oldest. She's 7 years old right now. And the other day I asked her, I said, am I your best friend? And she told me no. And I was like, no. And it hurt my feelings, but she told me that she had friends from school that was her best friend. And you know what? After I prayed about it, and got out my feelings, I'm not supposed to be her friend. I'm a mother. And building friendship, the friendship relationship will come later. But right now, I'm disciplining her. I'm teaching her. I'm holding her accountable. I'm being stern with her. I'm teaching her how to be a friend of others so she could be a friend of me when she become an adult. But anyways, that's another video. But the third thing that really transformed my life is this journal right here, y'all. This journal is called Beginner's. I know it's backwards, but y'all bear with me. It's Beginner's Guide to Gratitude. And yes, it was made by me. But apart from that, it says Beginner's Guide to Gratitude. Information plus application equals transformation. Because you can have all the information that you want to, baby. But if you do not apply that information to your life, you will not transform. I made this journal personally, and it has like all kind of little cool like illusions, visual things for you to see, like just so it's not boring. And it's a 30-day journal. And in the back it has like mind dump, so you can like make stuff like that. Even a self-awareness check. Like it's a really good journal. And every day I started picking out the things that I was grateful for. Like from me having toes. You know how many people don't got toes? I know that sounds like girl toes. But yeah, like even from just me having toes, or being grateful for my daughter being able to breathe, being grateful for having arms, being grateful for having legs, being grateful for having a working car, being grateful for having a husband that works, and so I can be home with my kids. Start picking out the good things in your life, because the only way for you to attract good things is for you to exude and be grateful for the good things that you already have. And I guarantee you, when you start doing that, your life will transform. Hey, I hope this video helps you. You are not alone. If you know anybody that just had a baby or recently had a baby, has had a baby, check in on them. Check in on your people, okay? Have a great day.